Hello, welcome to my channel. My name's Judy, and before we get started on this very short video, I'm sure, all you need to do is hit that subscribe button for me and maybe the notification bell. I'd really appreciate it. Today the subject is going to be, but don't all religions eventually lead back to God anyway? I mean, is there a right religion or a wrong religion? Does it even matter? Don't they all come back to God? There's a lot of different, we'll call them rules, in the different religious practices, and some of them are much looser than others. Some of them seem very strict. There was a news story just this morning about a priest in the Roman Catholic Church who had, of course, done many, many baptisms over the course of a couple of decades. And the church realized that he had been saying the blessing at the end incorrectly. Instead of saying, "I baptize you in Jesus' name," he was saying, "We baptize you in Jesus' name." And they have ruled that all of those baptisms are completely negated because he used "we" instead of "I." All those people have babies or now grown. I mean, 20 years this guy's been doing this. So they all have to be rebaptized. And if any of them has passed away, according to the Catholic Church, they're in purgatory, limbo. They get to go nowhere. So we're talking strict. Some religions, and I'm not just picking on the Catholic Church, it was just that story this morning came on, so it was a good example. But a lot of religions have very strict policies, rules. None of them are in the Bible or the Quran or anywhere else. These are just things that people have come to make up. Now again, some religions don't have a whole lot of that. It's pretty more basic than that. But how you act, what you say, what you do, where you go, why you do that, that's all written in a whole bunch of texts. Not text messages, but books. Do they all lead back to God? Is there a religion that's not right, And I kind of talked about this a little bit before, touched on it, I guess, a couple of videos here and there, but I want to say, I can't say whether I know or not. I believe I'm right. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that I feel very strongly that I'm really onto something here. Now, that doesn't mean I am right. I mean, I could be just some lady talking, these aren't fascinating videos in any way, shape, or form. So, I could just be sitting in front of a camera just chatting it up. But when we have restrictions like, you say "I," not "we," or if you don't do this or that, this is going to happen to you, and you start looking through all the books, and I haven't read them all, but when you start looking at religious books, or learning about the doctrine and how it came to be, then you start thinking, is this from God or is it from man? Is it just more convenient for man, And a lot of times it's about crowd control, or it's about individual control. And it's not about love, and it's not about, unity. It's about if I make you do this, then I can control how this is going. And so you have to wonder, like, who were the people who made the rules up, And I'm not saying they're bad rules. I'm just saying there's rules. There's guidelines. And people aren't free to just have a relationship with others or with God or whatever symbol of your religion there is, whether it's Jesus, Muhammad, or somebody else, doesn't matter, Buddha, doesn't matter. If you're not free to stand in that faith system and be authentically yourself with what you might consider to be your God. I don't know, it seems like it's a man-made control thing. I don't know, to me. And some of them, like I say, way worse than others. I digress. Do all paths lead to God? Well, of course, in my way of thinking, of course, it's not the religion that leads you to God. It's you who leads you to God. All of us who lead to God. In my way of thinking, we are already a part of God. We are not God, but we are a part of God. And it's probably more about leading to love than it is to God, because God is love, but the purpose that we have, as far as I can tell, is simply to have unconditional, amazing love for all, not people, all things, everything, every tree, every cloud, to have gratitude and wonder and feel like you are a part of. And when we get to a point where we're all empathetic toward each other, understanding of each other, patient with each other, loving unconditionally with each other, then God is going to be within reach as far as our ability to become that thing that is love. It's going to be a long, rocky road. And, some days are good, some days are bad, some lives are good, some lives are bad, and that's just how it is. But religion itself plays a role in our experience, of course, and it's super important. But the religion itself doesn't lead to God. It's the people, the humans, and the soul within. It's the soul that leads to God. It's not the religion. The religion's just something to sort of kind of do while it's an experience, just, to kind of see things from that vantage point. It's perspective. I've talked about these things a couple of times, right? So if you're in one religion or another religion, do you have a better chance or a lesser chance of seeing or being with God when you die? Do you die? I mean, I know your body dies, but, death can be sad and grievous, but it also just means that we're moving on. And we'll be back, probably a lot of times before any of us have actually reached the goal of true love. So, you say God too many times, it sounds kind of weird, but if you say anything too many times, it sounds kind of weird. But God is just, remember, a title so that we know what we're talking about. Just like soul. I'm sure all the souls out there don't think all their names are soul. But it's just, it's a name that causes a symbol in our head that we can refer to it. So it's just a human need we have to categorize things. Anyway, so that's the answer. I don't think any religions lead to God. I think the only thing that leads to God is the soul within the person. And that's for all of us. We're in this together. We're here for each other. And we will pull each other slowly forward as we learn how to love more genuinely. So that's all there is about that. If you have any questions, I would love it if you just leave a little comment down there and let me know what your question is. Certainly a little like button would be nice if you thought, okay, that was interesting. I never thought of it that way. Like that. And hopefully I'll see you again in a video coming up. Thanks for listening.